Why do you want to become no mind now? Simply because you're not able to handle the torture of your mind. If your mind was ecstasy, would you want to become no mind?
Hell no. First off, philosophy is a confession. Philosophy is a confession. Go love somebody that you don't like. Hey, what's good, y'all? Thanks for clicking on the link. WTJ Knowledge Drops back with another reaction video for you guys. More on that in a second, though. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning knowledge nomad, welcome back. And as usual, we don't have enough time for me to express my gratitude for the support. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, top of my heart, with all the love. Thank you very much. If you are new, welcome. My name is Wesley Travis Johnson, and this is my channel, WTJ Knowledge Drops, where spirituality meets science. And I react to spiritual leaders such as Swami Sarvapriyananda, and like in this one with Sadhguru. I also have been covering the Upanishads, the Katha Upanishads, and I have a TED Talks reaction series as well. So spirituality meets science. If that sounds something that you're interested in, be sure and subscribe, stick around, become a knowledge nomad. If you do, remember to hit the bell so you can stay in the link and never miss a drop. Okay, so like I said, this is a Sadhguru video, and it is titled Unlock the Mind's Full Potential. And let me see, what year was it? Oh, it was only put out 5 months ago. It's from his real channel, so the Sadhguru channel. So, Sadhguru, don't copyright me, bro. We're all just trying to learn and have a little fun, Bubba. Alright. Alright, well, we can get into it. If you are new, once the video starts, if you back out, your device will explode. So, stay to the end. And also at the end, I got some information on my next TED Talks video, which is going to be how Sadhguru became Sadhguru. So stay to the end if you want to hear that, if you're interested in that. All right, I'm going to stop rambling. Let's get into it. First time watching it, let's get it.
He wanted to acquire supernatural powers. The monk said, just these 3 mantras, all the supernatural will be yours. Tenali Ramakrishna went into a haystack. 3 days it was kept burning. After 8 months, Tenali Rama arrived. Akbar introduced him to everyone as his brother. He said, you can give Birbal to me. Mind is a way to liberate life. Unleash the power of the mind. This can be very easily done to you.
How are you guys doing on unleashing the power of your mind? Let me know in the comments any tips or tricks. I am soaking in all the information I can right now, and mostly I'm interested in the Eastern culture. It's just older and more vast, shall I say. There's a path for everybody, if you're not aware.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Why?
It is a good morning. It is 6 o'clock in the morning, Central Time in the United States right now. I'm an early riser. Shut up, Wes.
We are referring to the mind as a circus. Circus is not a mess. Circus is a very coordinated activity, made to look like a mess.
That is true. That is kind of how our minds work. It's a mess, but it's organized up there. I think all of our neurons are intelligent and have consciousness just like we do. So they're in there fighting with each other and cheating on their girlfriends and boyfriends and all that good stuff. So, let's see where this goes. Coordinated mess.
Deliberately made to look like a mess, but an extremely well-coordinated activity. That's what circus is. So the circus of the mind, if you have to experience it as a miraculous coordinated activity rather than as a mess, the most important and crucial thing is your intellect is not identified. Because once it's identified, your perception is so distorted, and this distortion permeates into every aspect of your life.
It's the domino effect, is what I like to call it. Just one after another. One action sets in motion an unchangeable action. I forgot what word I was looking for there for. Sorry, it's early. I'm still drinking coffee. Shut up, Wes.
You definitely have heard of Akbar and Birbal. When Akbar was an infant,
I've never heard of the story, so…
his mother died. Or, because she was a queen, they got another woman to breastfeed Akbar. And obviously that woman had a son. Then Akbar grew up into a great emperor. Because this woman had breastfed the emperor, they had given a whole village to her. And that boy also grew up into a man, but not much of a man. And he wasted and squandered the opportunity. He owned the whole village, but he wasted it and squandered it and lost it. And he was going through bad times. So one day, he thought, anyway, my mother has breastfed the emperor, so he owes something to me. In a way, I'm his brother. If I go and ask him something, he cannot refuse. With this idea, he came to Akbar. When he came, Akbar treated him with great respect, welcomed him in his court, honored him, introduced him to everyone as his brother, because both of them have drunk the milk of the same mother. And he stayed as a guest, attended many meetings which he could not understand the head or tail of. He was totally out of place. But Akbar took him around well-dressed, like his brother. After being there for a few weeks, my misfortune is only because I don't have good people around me. My misfortune is only because I don't… See, Akbar has such wonderful people. Above all, he has Birbal. Such wonderful people.
That is key. If you're capable, you want to get the brightest minds to work for you, and you should scour the world for them. I think that's probably key. To a good leader is proper delegation abilities. Being able to delegate properly and have people that you trust and that have faith in you and will speak to you just as kindly behind your back as they do to your face. Surround yourself with those people. To love people. Shut up, Wes.
That's why he's doing so well. If only I also had someone like Birbal around me, I would also become a great man. He expressed this to Akbar. He said, you have Birbal and you have become so great.
How would you go about becoming that? I guess go to like mosques or churches to surround yourself with like-minded people, try to get yourself a new crew going. How would you accomplish it? Let me know in the comments. That was just my first guess at it.
If I could also have someone like Birbal, you have so many people, you can give Birbal to me. Now, this boy is a few days older to Akbar, and Akbar treated him as an elder brother. When his elder brother requests, give something to me, I'm in bad times, he could not refuse. So Akbar said, you can take Birbal. When Birbal came that evening, Akbar announced in the court, Birbal is leaving with my brother, my elder brother, tomorrow morning. Birbal looked at this situation that he has to go with this fool to the village. And Birbal immediately said, Oh, Your Majesty, your elder brother definitely needs wise company, but I have a better idea. I can send my elder brother with him. Is that okay? They asked. So that man looked at this, if Birbal is so wonderful, his elder brother must be even more wonderful. He said, that's fine with me, I'll take Birbal's elder brother. He must be even better. So Akbar also was relieved because though he wanted to be generous to his brother, he did not want to lose Birbal. He was also relieved. So next day morning, in the court, grand send-off is being organized. Birbal came into the court with a bull on the tower. Akbar said, what is this? Birbal said, this is my brother. We drank the milk of the same mother. Once your intellect gets identified with something, then you are all messed. So this identity is not on one level, it is on many levels. Because of this complex system of identification, you are in a complex mess. So on one level, it is a mess. On another level, it is a highly coordinated activity. If you… today much work has gone into looking at the activity of the mind or the brain as such. If you look at the way the neurons are firing in the brain and what is happening, there is a tremendous sense of cohesiveness in this activity. It is that cohesiveness which is translating into the function of the body. A billion things are happening in this body right now, simply because there is a very extremely highly coordinated play and dance of neurons in the brain. But mind as an experience for people, in most people's experience, unfortunately, it's become a mess. So it's a circus. Both the aspects of the circus are there. Even the clown in the circus is a gymnast, hugely coordinated, but he's made to look like a clown. So the outer expression may be that of a clown, but he's hugely talented and balanced in his activity. That is the experience of most people when it comes to their mental activity. So what is the possibility of this circuit which is translating into the function of the body? A billion things are happening in this body right now, simply because there is a very extremely highly coordinated play and dance of neurons in the brain. But mind as an experience for people, in most people's experience, unfortunately, it's become a mess. So it's a circus. Both the aspects of the circus are there. Even the clown in the circus is a gymnast, hugely coordinated.
It's me, I'm the clown. Highly organized clown. And motivated.
But he's made to look like a clown. So the outer expression may be that of a clown, but he's hugely talented and balanced in his activity. That is the experience of most people when it comes to their mental activity. So what is the possibility of this circus? How the circus can take you to great heights, how this circus can also render you to the depths of hell within yourself. Both
All of this is capable. We're all capable of doing the most positive thing on the planet, and we're all capable of doing the most negative thing on the planet. All of us. Every single one. And I suggest if you haven't embraced your dark side, especially if you're a male, you should probably do that and learn to control it. That is what a woman wants. They want a man who knows exactly what he's capable of, but has complete control over it. And the only way you get there is embracing your dark side. It's very important. You guys know that in Eastern religion, that was more for the Western people, but it's tied into the Eastern. Hindu's vast. There's a route for everybody.
are possible. Pleasant experience, and for another person, mind seems to be a torture. Unable to bear the mental torture, people have invented various kinds of deviations, various kinds of perversions on this planet just to somehow deal with the mess of the mind. And these perversions might have given them temporary relief, but after some time, it again multiplies the mess. It doesn't really take it away. The moment your intellect, let's differentiate between these two. Intellect is like a scalpel, which is
and most of it's not even real. Most people are worried about the future and the past, and neither one of them are real at that moment in time. Be here now, guys. Be here now.
Constantly cutting through everything. Your ability to discriminate between one thing and the other is purely because of your intellect. You can make a distinction between me and this seat.
This is a great question. I've thought on it many, many times, so I'm excited to hear Sadhguru talk about it. Let's hear what he says.
Only because your intellect is functioning. You know that you must come through the door, not through the wall, only because your intellect is functioning. Without the activity of the intellect, you cannot discriminate. So the basic process of
That's true. This is true. It's hard to be comfortable in your own head. Become comfortable. It took a stroke for me to. I could never be alone before that. I always would have to be hanging out with somebody or have a girlfriend or whatever the case. I could never be alone because I wasn't comfortable in my own head. And when I had my stroke, it kind of forced me into that solitude. I had to retire from fun and really accept the fact that I was a whole new person. My old self died. Shut up, boys.
discrimination, setting things apart, is happening because of the intellect. So this is like a scalpel which is cutting everything to give you some sense of perception. If a knife has to cut through anything effortlessly and well, it's extremely important that whatever that it cuts through does not stick to it. You cut a cake today, tomorrow you cut bread, day after tomorrow you cut something else. If all of it, the residue of it goes on sticking to this knife, after some time, this knife becomes a useless knife. I think some of you, in your kitchens, you must have experienced the ladies. You cut onions with this knife. After that, you go and cut mangoes. You go and cut apples, everything tastes like onion. Isn't it so? Because the residue of what you cut through, once it sticks to the knife, now that knife in many ways becomes more of a nuisance than of help. Or in other words, once your intellect gets identified with something or the other, after that, your intellect gets chained with identifications. Once this happens, you have a completely distorted experience of the mind. Your mind, that which should have been a ladder to the divine, unfortunately has become a stairway to hell. Simply because it is so identified with so many things. People keep knife.
That was kind of sexist, Sadhguru. I'm just kidding. I like this analogy a lot. I really like it because it makes a lot of sense. Exactly how we are. Let's finish it.
After that, you go and cut mangoes, you go and cut apples, everything tastes like onion.
Yeah. You got to sharpen your tools and clean them a bit every once in a while, I guess. Sharpen your knives.
Isn't it so? How will it happen to us? It is not a question of anybody's choosing anything for you. It is just that if you keep your intellect unidentified with anything, starting from your body, if you do not even identify yourself with the body, that if you do not look at yourself not even as a man or a woman, your family, your qualifications, your society, your caste, creed, community, nation, whatever, your mind…
Ooh, yeah, I love that. This begins at a really young age. Whenever we get domesticated as kids, all we know when we're kids is to love and play and have fun, and love and play and have fun. And when we're infants, you can do no wrong in anybody's eyes until that one day you get too close to the coffee table and your mother scolds you and tells you no, and that really hits you hard. That's when you start to change who you are as a person, in order to get the reward and not the punishment. It starts right then and there. You need to unlearn and relearn. Undomesticate yourself. Shut up, Wes.
A million other identifications that you take on in your life. If you do not identify your intellect, or if you do not encumber your intellect with any of these identifications, every human being will naturally lead himself on to his ultimate nature. There is no other way. When we started the home school,
I don't identify with anything. I like to play the middle on everything to keep people guessing, so I don't put myself in any box. I'm in both. I'm in all boxes, guys. All boxes. Because life is much better that way. For what he's exactly saying, once you become that, that's what you become. If your intellect is directed towards that, and that's what you're going to manifest for yourself.
The first questions that came up is this going to be a spiritual school? Are you going to teach them spirituality? I said, that's one thing we won't do. There are a variety of corruptions on the planet, but the spiritual and religious corruption has always been the most damaging, because you get so strongly identified with this. Once this identification happens, you can't look beyond it. It encumbers your intellect. So if children are brought up without any sense of identity, you will see every human being will naturally lead himself towards his enlightenment. I must share this, I hope it is received with the necessary understanding, because this was a certain moment of intimacy, a certain moment of many things that cannot be expressed. I was just 14 years of age. My mother, who was a very devout, dedicated woman, for her whole…
Yes, that is why over here in America, the separation of church and state is very, very critical, and it's one of our founding rules. Okay, there you have it. I forgot my point, I'll remember it in a second. It's still early.
Whole life was her husband and 4 children, and she never thought anything about herself, she just gave her life to us. So there was no need for her to ever express that I love you or anything, such a thing was never expected. Whether she loves you or not is never a question, because her whole life is for you. So there's no question of whether she loves you or doesn't love you. Such a question never occurred in anybody's minds. I developed a kind of relationship with her where though I was the youngest in the family, I was like…
It's poetically beautiful.
her elder brother in many ways. She would share things that she wouldn't share with anybody, and when I took advantage of that and joked, she would always regret, why am I sharing these things with you? So on a certain day, because of some interaction, somehow she grew a little tender in her heart and she expressed her love to me, not necessarily in I love you business, somehow. I grew up in such a way right from my childhood because of my memory, because I could remember…
That old school life for women. You're just in the kitchen and making clothes and washing clothes and doing all your womanly duties. Good old-fashioned life. I'm glad we're progressing. Almost everywhere. I'm looking at you, Middle East, with your treatment of women. Actually, I'm probably speaking ignorantly right now because I really don't even know.
Things that happened when I was just 2-3 months of age, it just didn't allow me to be like a normal child. I thought like an adult. So because of this, nobody could take me on their lap, nobody could fondle me, nobody could catch…
Is that devotion to a lover still exist? I wouldn't know. Let me know in the comments if you have true love currently. Or if you're single, let me know in the comments. And I need the engagement. Let me know where you're from. Rep your city, your state, your territory, your country. Rep it. Let me know in the comments. Let me know where you're from, where you're watching from. Shut up, Les.
Carry me, I always prefer to walk and do my own things. I developed a kind of relationship with her where I was… My brother and sister were older to me, were used to be carried and fondled and… brother in many ways. All that. I did not get those things because somehow it was difficult to do those things to me. And still difficult, see. She would always regret, why am I sharing these things with you? So this relationship was very different from a certain normal thing, but that day she was somehow… some tenderness and she wanted to express. Somehow she grew a little… She expressed something towards me. She expressed her love to me. I simply asked. For me it was just very matter of fact. I just asked if I was born in the next house, would you still feel like this about me?
Because I could remember things
She just broke down, it hurt her very much.
2-3 months of age.
She broke down and went away.
It just didn't allow me to be
I didn't intend to hurt her, I just asked a simple question, which these questions are constantly going on in me about everything, not just about one thing.
I always prefer to walk and do my own things.
And after some time, she came, still tears in her eyes, she came and fell at my feet.
All that.
And then she went away.
I did not get those things because
I said that's good for her,
it was difficult to do those things to me.
Some kind of realization.
Did he say fondled twice? That's weird, guys. This place is weird.
Within herself. Why I'm saying this is, our ways of thinking and feeling are so deeply identified with things we are associated with. Our body, our parentage, our children, our wife, our husband, our home. Not just that, with just about anything, isn't it? With just anything and anything. I remember my grandfather used to always eat in a gold-rimmed plate. A very rich man and a very proud man. If at any time for some reason, even when he travels, another traveling gold plate has to travel with him. Suppose that plate is not there, he just won't eat. He cannot eat. The same damn food. What is the problem? Whether you eat in a gold plate or a steel plate, okay, you want to do things in style, it's okay. But the identification with something as simple as that is so deep that if he eats on another plate, he will become sick. His stomach will be disturbed. Your identifications are so very deep with big things and small things. Once you're identified like this, your mind is a mess of a circus. It will never raise to any great peak or pitch, it will be just a mess. Once you're very deeply identified, it is better not to insult the circus by calling your mind a circus. It's more a mental diarrhea. Non-stop, it is just going on endlessly. This cannot be stopped with a pill. People have tried the drink, the drug, all kinds of things, but it cannot be stopped that way. Only when you get disidentified, when you're able to be involved but not entangled, only then this is possible. Right now, because somewhere people realized that this identification is causing so much trouble, immediately they started giving you an antidote, detachment. The moment you detach yourself,
I'll eat on paper plates and reuse them if possible. I'm a penny pincher, I have to be. I live off of like $600 a month.
your ability to experience life also is gone. Because life can only be experienced with involvement. Where there is no involvement, there is no life. Is that so? The deeper the involvement, the deeper the experience of life. However small the event may be, however small a piece of life may be, if you are deeply involved, it's a very great experience for you. Nothing dramatic or spectacular needs.
And even identifying as the male and female thing, we all have feminine energy and masculine energy, all of us. And I know certain body parts put us in certain boxes, but I wouldn't even identify like that. Leave yourself open to everything. I mean, us men, we do have feminine energy more than others. You know, I've never really been big on testosterone. I have always been a flight guy. I think I've come from a long line of flight over fight, and I'm not ashamed to say it. That's how I survived so long.
To happen in your life,
circus,
if you're
by
deeply,
calling your
deeply
mind
involved
a
with the
circus,
simplest aspect of your life, you
it's
will
more a
see
mental
every
diarrhea.
aspect of your life is spectacular.
Non-stop. It
So
is just going
involvement
on
is the
endlessly.
only way to experience life. No
This
involvement, there
cannot
is
be
really
stopped
no
with a
life.
pill. People have tried.
But why
the
is so
drink,
much
the
detachment
drug,
being taught everywhere?
all kinds of things, but it cannot be stopped
Fear of
that way.
entanglement.
Only
It is
when
from
you
that
get
fear,
misidentified,
detachment is always
when you're
being
able
propagated.
to be involved but not entangled.
If you detach yourself
Only then this
from
is
life,
possible.
you're avoiding life.
Woo!
If you really want to avoid
Involved
life,
and not entangled.
there are more efficient
We
ways
hit
to
our
do
gold
it.
nugget of the hour, guys. Woo!
You know, you can jump off a mountain,
Right now, because somewhere people realized
you can
that
consume
this
poison, you can
identification
hang
is
yourself.
causing so much trouble.
Whatever we do,
Immediately,
we must do it
they started
efficiently,
giving
isn't
you an
it?
antidote.
If you want to really avoid life, you just have to hang yourself.
the
What
moment
is
you
the
detach
idea?
yourself,
Are you here to experience
your
life,
ability to
or are you here
experience
to
life
avoid
also is
life?
gone.
Which way is it?
Because life can only be experienced with
Experience life?
involvement.
Can you
Where there
experience
is no
life
involvement,
unless you're
there is no
involved?
life. Is that so? The deeper
But
the involvement,
right now there is
the
a fear
deeper
of
the
entanglement.
experience
If
of
I
life.
involve myself, maybe I'll
However
get
small the
entangled.
event may be, however small a
Entanglement
piece
has
of life may
happened
be, if you are
because
deeply
of the
involved,
discriminatory nature of
it's a
your
very great
involvement.
experience for you.
You're only involved with this one,
Nothing
not with that one.
dramatic or spectacular
Your involvement
need
is
to happen
coming
in
from
your
a
life.
certain
If you're
identification.
deeply
I am involved with this
with the
person
simplest
because
aspect
this
of
is
your
my
life,
wife, this is
you
my
will
husband,
see
this is my
every
child, this
aspect
is
of
my
your
home,
life
this
is
is my
spectacular.
that. It is
So
coming because of a certain
involvement is the
identity.
only way to experience
Otherwise,
life.
there's no involvement with life.
No involvement,
It is
there's really no
identification
life.
which is causing the entanglement, not the involvement.
It's another way to
If your
say
involvement
faith
is
without
beyond your
works
identification,
is dead.
you will
gotta
see
put in the work,
involvement
guys.
brings absolute joy
Is
of
an
life.
enemy of manifestation.
If your involvement was indiscriminate,
But why
you are
is
simply
so much
involved with every
detachment
life
being taught everywhere?
around you, just the same way, the very air that
Fear
you
of
breathe,
entanglement.
the very land that you're
It is from
standing
that
on,
fear.
if you are
Detachment is always
deeply
being
involved,
propagated.
you will see involvement
If you
enhances
detach
life in a
yourself from
tremendous
life,
way.
you're avoiding life.
If life is not enhanced
If
within
you really
you,
want to avoid
all the
life,
higher possibilities of
there
life
are more efficient
also will
ways to
never
do
happen
it.
to you. In the process of becoming spiritual, or
you can jump off a
trying to
mountain.
be spiritual, lot of people have become like…
Just make sure you don't survive, because it's rough, let me tell you. Pretty sure I wasn't supposed to survive my aneurysm/stroke, but I did, and now I'm paralyzed, and it's hardcore, guys. If you're gonna do the mountain thing, make sure you don't survive. That's all I'm saying.
like goats. I don't want to insult the goats. Because if you practice how not to be involved with life, then slowly you will become more and more lifeless, less of life as days go by. Too much of mind, very little of life. As life recedes in you, you will see nothing fantastic can ever happen. Only if life is exuberantly happening within you, it can carry you to higher possibilities. So mind…
I will not involve myself any longer. I am retired from a social life. I have no desire to have one. I am in learning mode and earning mode. I have a lot to catch up on. I was an absolute worthless piece of shit the first 35 years of my life. So I got a lot of catching up to do, and I ain't getting any younger.
Mind is not a cap on life. Mind is a way to liberate life. Just now also, everywhere you go, you must control the mind. Your mind need not be controlled. Your mind needs to be liberated. But unfortunately, we are always thinking of controlling the mind. People are talking about, I want to become no mind. It's a very misunderstood concept. It took millions of years to evolve this mind. Why do you want to become no mind now? Simply because you are not able to handle the torture of your mind. If your mind was ecstasy, would you want to become no mind? If your mind was the means to your blissfulness, would you want to become no mind? Only because it's become a mess, you want to become no mind, isn't it? Only because you're seeing it as a barrier, not as a stepping stone, you want to become a no mind. Mind is not a barrier. Mind is a tremendous possibility. It is because…
He was talking about being involved spiritually and emotionally, I think, not physically. Pardon my Western or materialistic vision. It's hard to get away from. Not everything's physical, guys. Note to self.
without addressing and understanding the fundamental nature of the mind, we are trying to go about handling it, this problem has happened. Now, one of the biggest problems with the mind is, right from one's childhood, the mind has been imposed as to what is right and what is wrong, morality. This is the major problem. People have taught you what is good and what is bad, because good and bad are very strong points of identity. Very strong. Whatever you consider as good, you naturally get identified with it. Whatever you consider as bad, you naturally repelled by it. You having aversion to something and you having attraction towards something is the basis of identification. Whatever you're averse to it dominates your mind. I can tell you a story. Are you okay? Once there was a man in South India.
Ignorance is bliss.
This man got a desire to acquire supernatural powers. He wanted to acquire supernatural powers. Supernatural powers means, someone wants to walk upon water, somebody wants to fly without an airplane, someone wants to sit in the fire and not be cooked. So many things. Fundamentally, you want to do something that others cannot do, and that's called a circus. Yes? So he got such a desire, so he went in search of gurus, guru to guru, guru to guru. Nobody is willing to entertain him. After much search, somebody told him, these South Indian gurus are too conventional, they're no good. You go to Tibet. There's an old Buddhist monk. He has all the supernatural powers you want and he's willing to…
Is he about to touch on what I just brought up earlier about being domesticated as children? I learned that from the Toltec traditions, which were the shamans of the Mayan culture.
Once there was a man in South India. This man got a desire to acquire supernatural powers. He wanted to acquire supernatural powers.
Don't we all want supernatural powers? Which one would you choose? I would probably choose I have no idea. Something big. Incredible Hulk, let's say that. I don't know what superhero I'd want to be. No clue. I don't watch those movies. I've never been a fan.
He went to the Buddhist monastery. There the culture is very different from South India or any part of India for that matter, especially South India. Here
I don't know why you'd want to sit in the fire and not be cooked. And I thought about the whole flying thing, but we're not designed to leave this earth, so it's not natural. I don't even like flying in planes. We're not supposed to do that, guys. Our feet are supposed to be planted on this earth, not left, because you can fall and die.
been taught Atithi Devo Bhava. That means a guest is God. If somebody appears at your doorstep, whether you know him or you do not know him, you treat him like a god. Such a culture does not exist in the Buddhist monasteries. If you go there, nobody will ask you who you are. Not because they don't care for you, because in their life, their whole life's work is just to find out who they are. So when you have just arrived, they don't want to embarrass you with such a big question. Who are you? It's not a small question, isn't it? In the middle of nowhere, you say, I am Ramaswamy or I am Habibullah, doesn't mean anything. In your town, in your community, it may mean something. In the middle of nowhere, it just doesn't mean anything. So they don't want to embarrass you with such big questions, so they never ask you, who are you? A new man has arrived. If you do not ask, who are you? What is the next possibility? Where do you come from? Do you know where you come from? So they don't want to embarrass you with that question either. You don't know where you come from. You don't know where you will go. These few years that you are here, you're busy. Very busy, isn't it? Suddenly the act will end one day, just like that. For some there is a warning, many there is no warning. Just like that, without notice, all your act may end. But we are so busy, not knowing where you came from, not knowing where you may go. So they don't ask you such questions either. A new person has arrived, you don't ask him who you are, where you come from. There is not much room for conversation, so they don't talk to you. Lunch means there is a bell. If you want, you can go and eat. If you do not eat, in Buddhist life, fasting is also a very important part of the spiritual life. So if you're not eating today, that is also greatly respected. Nobody will compel you, you have to eat.
Is it more conventional in the South because it has been influenced more by Western culture? Is that the fact? It seems like it would be, because I know Britain had East India Company or West India Company, one of the two, but they've invaded everywhere, guys.
South Indian home, you must eat. It doesn't matter you're bursting, but you must eat. You understand, that's hospitality. It's also a sure way to the hospital, but such things don't exist in Buddhist monasteries. This is a strange situation for our man from South India. So he hung on. When hunger overtook him, he went and ate, otherwise he just hung on and hung on.
Is that the meaning of life, to figure out who you are? I think that might be pretty close, because it takes a lifetime and some people never even get there. None of us know what we're doing here. We're all freestyling it and just watching what other people do and kind of doing the same thing.
on. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 weeks passed away. After 3 weeks, the old monk called him. He knows why the man has come. He looked at him and said, "See, what are you going to do with these supernatural powers? What will you do walking upon water? After 3 days, anyway, a boat will be better. You know? Suppose you go and start..."
Don't ever be embarrassed to ask questions, guys. Humility is more important for your mental health than love is. And love is very important, so that should tell you how important humility is. So don't be afraid to ask a dumb question. There's no such thing as dumb questions, especially when you're a seeker. Ask how and why, how and why. Shut up, Wes.
Walking on water in Delhi somewhere, is there any water? Is there some water body where you can walk? Suppose you walk, initially a whole crowd will gather. If you every day start walking on water, people will say, "He's a water walker." Yes? And anyway, after 3 days you will wish you had a boat. Because after some time, what is the difference between walking on the land and walking on the water? Except the attention that you get initially. After some time, it's the same walk.
I don't want notice, guys. I just want it to happen. Preferably when I'm not looking. Like something big fall on my house unexpectedly with zero chance of survival, goddammit. Excuse my language.
Isn't it? Don't waste your time like this. I will teach you the way of meditation. With this, you can live a fruitful life. Our man said, "What? To learn meditation, do you think I have to come all the way to Tibet? In India, we know every kind of meditation. I want you to remember, Gautama, the Buddha himself is an export from India. I want supernatural powers." In many ways, the monk tried to dissuade him. Said, "Nothing doing, I want supernatural powers." And the monk said, "Okay, if you're so set on it, tomorrow morning have a dip in the river at 4 o'clock in the morning and be here. I will teach you the secrets of the supernatural." Our man went and took a dip in the river. That is Tibet. Temperatures were all minus. He turned half blue and came.
We're learning about how to treat guests and how important it is in the Kata Upanishads. I'm going through the whole series of mantras, and I've covered 1 through 13 so far. So if you're interested in that after this one, you can go over there. I'll have a link at the end of the video.
Came and sat in front of the monk. The monk looked at his condition and his determination and told him, "See, this is very simple. I will give you 3 secret mantras. If you utter these 3 mantras, all the supernatural will be yours. You have to utter these 3 mantras 3 times over. Shall I reveal the mantras to you? Yes? These 3 mantras are Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami. Just these 3 mantras, 3 times over, all the supernatural will be yours. It is just that when you're uttering the mantra, do not think about the monkeys. Is that all? That is all. May I go? Please go ahead. Our man came out of the ministry jumping with joy. The fool of a monk revealed all the secrets to me, did not even ask for a Guru Dakshina, and he tells me, do not think about monkeys. What does he know about my culture? I think about the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras. Why would… Don't waste your time like this.
It is, that's a good point. That is a really good point. I mean, yeah, you can walk on water, but it ain't gonna get you any further than where you're going. Maybe a shortcut. It may be a shorter distance from A to B. But other than that, you're just walking still. And walking sucks.
I think about monkeys, am I a hunter? I have not seen a monkey in the last 10 years like this thinking about monkeys. He walked all the way back to India, came to the banks of the sacred river Ganges, had a dip, sat down, Buddham, monkey.
That's something I learned here recently as well. Buddhism is actually a sect of Hinduism, like it derived from Hindu. I didn't know that before I started on this spiritual journey. Shut up, Wes.
Monkey comes, another dip in the river. Buddham, monkey. Bu means monkey comes. Various yoga postures he sat down. An intense effort he made for 1 week. In 1 week, he came to a situation where he doesn't have to do anything. All the time monkeys tormenting him, inside, outside monkeys. He's unable to sleep, sit or stand. Monkeys everywhere. If you looked at the sky monkeys, if you looked at the ground monkeys, if you looked anywhere, only monkeys. If he closed his eyes, too many monkeys. Now he walked all the way back to Tibet with his monkey load. He went to the monk and said, I don't want your supernatural powers. Somehow relieve me of these monkeys first. Now this is the nature of your mind. If you say, I do not want something, only that happens. In this mind, there is no subtraction or division. There is only addition and multiplication. You cannot take away anything by force from this mind. Now, this does not need any enlightenment. If you just close your eyes for a minute and look at it, you can see you cannot do anything by force. Now somebody told you, this is good, this is evil, do not think about the evil. Now that's a full-time job. There is nothing else going on. The moment you identify something as good and you identify something as bad, you getting identified with the good and having aversion for the bad is a natural process. If you have an indiscriminate sense of involvement with everything, involvement need not necessarily mean that you have to go and do something. You can just look at people and be involved, isn't it? You can just look at the sky and be involved. You can look at every life and be involved. You can close your eyes and still be involved. Involvement is not an act. Involvement is a certain willingness.
Y'all got wild monkeys over there in India? Is there wild… what are the most dangerous wildlife out there? Here, it's probably like bears and mountain lions or something. Nothing too crazy. I know monkeys aren't super dangerous. Although I have seen some chimpanzees that are very, very aggressive. Anyways, my question. Let me know in the comments. Do y'all have wild monkeys? Kinda sounds like it.
With life, you have become willing to the process of life. If you get identified, you are becoming unwilling to the process of life. You are only willing in selection. With the rest of the life, you are not willing. It is this unwillingness which is scaling down the aliveness in a human being. You just look at yourself and see, when you're 5 years of age, how alive you were and how alive you are today. It's gone down, isn't it? Yes. With age, aliveness need not go down. With age, our physical capabilities may go down. Aliveness need not go down. If you're 100, you can be as alive as a child. Your aliveness is going down because you're committing suicide in installments. The method of committing suicide is that you become selective in your involvement. Involvement does not necessarily mean physical action.
Is this the early story of Hanuman? I think I said that right. I just learned about that one as well too. I did a reaction on it, which is the monkey god for you Westerners.
Involvement is just your willingness with life. If you take away the willingness, the process of life naturally becomes suffering. Whatever you do willingly, that's your heaven. Whatever you do unwillingly, that's your hell. What is a great love affair?
Woo! Yeah, I love that. There's no division or subtraction in your brain. It's only addition and multiplication. It's manifestation at its finest. So, once you start thinking about something, it's probably going to manifest, and especially if your faith is at 150%. So, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. I think that's where that saying comes from. And shut up, Wes. See where it's going.
Where, if it happens to you, when you're unwilling, that becomes your rape, isn't it? What is considered so beautiful can become so horrible, simply because the difference is just willingness and unwillingness.
I've heard him say before, if you want to try to remember something, just try to forget it and you'll remember it. Try to forget what you're trying to remember and you won't forget it. Because of this, there is no subtraction, only addition.
Willingness. So, whether your mind is a misery or your mind is a miracle simply depends on this. Are you allowing life to happen to you absolutely willingly or unwillingly? Is your life a love affair? Or is life just raping you? That's the question. If you're being raped by life, then mind is a misery. If your life has become a love affair, life is blissfulness. Mind is blissfulness too. So it is because of selective involvement, it is because of a certain identification with something or the other that you become selectively involved. When the other things…
Yeah, just put out positive energy and you'll be involved. Everything's connected. We are all one. Your positive energy feeds into the collective. Be responsible for what energy you put out. Don't be put out no negative bullshit worrying. Worry is a misuse of imagination.
That you're not identified with happen to you, you feel raped by life. Naturally there is misery, there is no other way to be. So if this circus of life circus of the mind has to become a symphony, if it has to raise to its crescendo, one of the foremost things is, suppose in the circus you have seen the trapeze artists. The trapeze bars and the trapeze ropes are always tied in such a way, only if they go full swing, they get to reach each other. If they're little unwilling, or any one of them is unwilling, circus will collapse, isn't it? They must go all out, all out, all out. Otherwise, it cannot happen in a beautiful way. That is so with you. Are you going all out with life? If you're going all out, that itself will settle the mind. You are going with indiscriminate involvement with life, with everything, absolutely involved. With what passion you look at your lover or your child, with the same passion you look at the sky, with the same passion you look at the tree, with the same passion you look at the earth, with the same passion you look at anything. If you have the same passion and involvement with every aspect of your life, mind is not a misery, it is a beautiful circus. Circus is a symphony of actions, isn't it? Tremendously coordinated. but it can become…
Yeah, all females want that just by somebody they like, fellas. That's why it gets really weird. And no means no.
an absolute mess. If that coordination is lost, if the trapeze artists are not willing to swing all the way, they want to be safe, so they will go only half the way. Now there is no circus, it's finished. So we did not say circus is a negative thing. Circus is a hugely coordinated symphony of actions. And that is how the brain is functioning. The accumulated mass of information, which generally we refer to as the mind and its activity, is all coming from that accumulated information. This information has a basis beyond your birth. We will not go into that, let's talk about that which is in your experience. From the moment you are born to this moment, everything that you have seen, everything that you have heard, everything that you have smelt, everything that you tasted and everything that you touched, everything that you perceived through these five sense organs is recorded in your mind. Whether you recorded this, whether it happened in wakefulness or sleep, it is still recorded. This can be very easily done to you. You are fast asleep and I will say something to you. If we can do certain processes, you will see what you heard in sleep.
I've never been to a circus in my 45 years on this earth. How many guys have you had? If you've been to a circus, let me know in the comments. I need the engagement.
Is still there, you can very easily repeat it. In hypnotized conditions, these things have been done as experiments, but in yogic systems we have always been aware of it. In India, we have been aware of this, you have heard many stories about this. We always thought the best time to put in the best input into a human being is when he is in the mother's womb. So elaborate care was taken about how a pregnant woman should be, in what kind of atmosphere she should be, under what kind of influence she should come, what kind of influence she should not come. She was not even allowed to meet certain people. Only those people who are most loving and wise and intelligent were allowed to meet her. Any kind of negative emotions, any kind of negative situations, she was not exposed to, because that is a time you can teach. The child is in deep sleep, just forming. Because there is such a sense of deep sleep, it's very easy to teach. Now when you're awake, there are any number of distractions. You're listening to me, but you're aware of…
To make it short, life is a beautiful mess. It's so messy that it's poetically beautiful. And if that's not the most human simulation existence statement, I don't know what is.
the body. You're scratching your body, you're looking around, you're doing this, you're doing that. When you're in sleep, all these things are absent. Your absorption is absolute. So everything that you have heard, seen, smelt, tasted and touched, wakefulness or sleep is recorded. This information is there. Now, how harmoniously we use this information is the effectiveness of the mind, or how much of a mess this information has become is the ineffectiveness or the mess of the mind. To organize this, people have done various things. All kinds of methods and exercises are being brought about in the world. Yes, there are many ways to make minor corrections and make yourself little more effective than before. But if you really want to unleash the mind, not control the mind, if you truly want to unleash the power of the mind, the fundamental thing is your intellect should not be identified with anything. Then your perception comes to such clarity, then mind naturally organizes itself. Nobody has to organize the mind. It is very well organized, naturally it is organized. Only because the perception is so distorted, its function and its outcome also is distorted. In South, there was a king called Krishna-Devaraya, and he also had not a minister but a jester, Tenali Ramakrishna. One day, Krishna-Devaraya was having a haircut. The royal barber was giving him a haircut. He was civilized, not… And a crow came and sat there and started doing its usual caca.
That is beautiful advice right there, ladies. If you are pregnant, be around positive people, preaching positive shit, and doing positive things. You don't want a Debbie Downer, bringing negative emotions on you. It's affecting your child in your belly. Blast some music for her instead. Ouch. That one didn't hurt it bad.
The barber stopped the haircut with arresting attention, just started listening to the crow. Krishna-Devaraya looked at him and said, "What is this? What are you listening to the crow? As if you can understand what the crow is saying." He said, "Wait, Your Majesty, wait, he has a message." And very carefully heard it for a long time and then shook his head. Krishna-Devaraya became very curious. "What is this? You understand the crows?" "Yes." "What is he saying?" "Your Majesty, this crow has come as a messenger of your forefathers from heaven. And what he is saying is that they are in heaven and uncared for. Above all, there is nobody to entertain them. There is nobody to keep them happy. They are there, everything is physically taken care of, but there is nobody to entertain them. So they're really longing for some help from you. That's why they've sent this crow as a messenger. We must send somebody to heaven to entertain your forefathers. How can we leave them like that?"
There you go. Don't choose sides, guys. Don't put yourself in a box. You're closing yourself in and blocking your mind off to its full expansion, apparently. Be neutral. Love everybody. Love the people that you don't like so you can love yourself properly. Shut up, Wes.
Entertained your forefathers. Krishna-Devaraya immediately became very emotional. My forefathers are bored and suffering because of lack of attention and entertainment. I must send the best entertainment. So let's see who is the best dancer, who is the best musician, who is the best what…
I don't think consciousness comes from inside our brain, but I do think our neurons are intelligent and that they are… what word am I looking for? Social creatures like we are. I think the neurons interact like that, but I don't think it forms our consciousness. I think we receive that as a signal like Wi-Fi or radio.
Whatever, all this. Then a few other courtiers arrived and all of them said, "Oh, Your Majesty, if you are willing, I am willing to go, but I can't sing for nuts. But if you want me to go and serve your forefathers, I will go to heaven and serve right now." Like this they built it up. But then they said, "No, for your forefathers, we must send the best of the best." How can we send? A musician, how long can he entertain you? If you hear him for 2 days, you finish with him. If you send a dancer, how long? If you see him for a few days, you finish with him. We must send somebody who can keep them continuously entertained. Who better than Tenali Ramakrishna? He can keep your forefathers forever entertained because he's so ingenious. he is the best guy. Krishna Deva Raya also agreed, there is nobody like Tenali Ramakrishna. He is the best entertainment. I wouldn't like to part with him, but my forefathers, he was in emotion. He said, yes, we will send Tenali Ramakrishna. Then Tenali Ramakrishna was called.
We got the motherfucking crow whisperer over here.
And he heard the story as to how he should go to heaven to serve the forefathers. Immediately he took on the act. Oh, Your Majesty, I am more than willing. This is such a honor, I am going. I also know this whole thing, how to go. The barber had also received instructions as to how to send a man to heaven. The crow instructed how to send a man to heaven. They said, you must make the man sitting facing south, and then you must get lot of sandalwood, camphor and ghee. The heap should raise well above an elephant, a full-grown elephant, and it should be only sandalwood, pure ghee and camphor. And keep the man inside, build this whole heap and then set fire to it. As it goes, this fire should burn for a minimum of 3 days, and then the man will evaporate and go to heaven and serve the forefathers. Then Ali Ramakrishna said, this is the correct method, this is the best way. I will go and serve your forefathers. It is just that, let me make the preparation. I want to purify my body and my mind and everything before I go there. I want to take off all the doshas in me. Give me just 30 days' time. A grand site was prepared, a huge thing going on. Tenali Ramakrishna personally went and supervised the whole process. And he only set up this whole thing with his trusted labor. He created the whole site the way he wants it. Krishna Deva Raya was moved with Tenali Ramakrishna's dedication towards his forefathers that he is willing to go to heaven. The day came and Tenali Ramakrishna went into a haystack first, and then over that this whole hill of wood and ghee and camphor was built, and then set fire. 3 days it was kept burning. After 3 days, nothing but ashes were there. Tenali Ramakrishna disappeared. Many months passed, Krishna Deva Raya wondered what is happening to his forefathers because the damn crow did not come again and tell what is happening. Every day when the crows came, he asked the barber, what are they saying, what are they saying? This is not the crow, this is just an ordinary crow, not the messenger crow. After 8 months, one day, when Krishna Deva Raya was in the full assembly of the court, Tenali Rama arrived with long hair and a long beard. And he bowed down to Krishna Deva Raya, and Krishna Deva Raya was overjoyed that Tenali Rama has come back from heaven. And he said, what is happening? Are my forefathers well? Did you keep them happy? I kept them very happy, they have been splitting in their sides with my jokes, they're really enjoying everything. It is just that they have one problem, Your Majesty. What is that? He said, there are no barbers in heaven. Look at me. Even I couldn't have a shave. And your forefathers for so many years, they're tripping on their own beards. It's become really difficult that they're carrying long beards around their neck and they're really having a problem. They need a good barber. We must send the best barber. Of course, the best one is the royal one. Krishna Deva Raya immediately said, I will send my personal barber. The barber quaked. Then he came and fell at Krishna Deva Raya's feet and admitted, I did this horrible thing. Why I'm saying this to you is, once you're identified with something, your perception gets so distorted. From the day you are born, to increase your identity with your family, Your parents have been campaigning, how you belong to them and what. To increase your loyalty to your community and caste and creed and religion, other people have been campaigning. To increase your loyalty and you're even willing to die for your country, some other people are campaigning. On different levels, people are constantly campaigning to ensure that you're deeply, deeply identified with something so that you will serve those purposes. Nobody wants you to be a liberated human being because they're afraid of freedom. They believe that if one is free, he may do irresponsible things. Only because one is not free, he does irresponsible things. If one is truly free, why will he do anything irresponsible? Why will he do anything harmful? He is not free in his mind, that is why he does desperate things, isn't it? He is too identified with himself and nothing else, so he can harm somebody else. If he is not even identified with this one, there is no harm coming out of such a human being. It cannot come out of him. So because of these campaigns, you get so identified and everything gets distorted. We can run a campaign to make you believe just about anything. I want you to know this. If we campaign hard enough, we can make you worship anything, we can make you hate anything, we can make you love anything, we can make you give up your life for anything. It is just that we have to work on your identity.
There's no barbers here either, apparently. Me and Sadhguru, although he's got me way beat, but I've only been really growing mine out for like 4 months, so. But I'm going as long as it possibly can. Primal. There's no grooming this beard. I didn't grow it to be groomed.
Identification. How strong is your identity? That is how much you go, isn't it? Once your intellect is identified, mind is no more a harmonious circus, it's a mess of a circus. The whole system of yoga, the technology of yoga is only towards this. Right now, what we are offering as inner engineering is fundamentally just this. It's not a teaching, it is not a philosophy, it is not an ideology or a belief system or a religion. It is just a technology to create a distinction. If you go into these processes, what they're doing to you is just this. If you sit here, your physical body is here. What you call as your mind is out here. What is you is away from this. Once this little space between you and the activity of the mind, between you and the activity of the body arises within you, now mind is no more a mess. It is a great symphony, it is a tremendous possibility, it can take you to great heights. If this distinction is not there, it is this distinction which unfortunately got misinterpreted as non-attachment or detachment. Yes, you must detach yourself from your body experientially, not detaching yourself from family or people or whatever else from life around you. That's very easy. When they become inconvenient, you can detach yourself. Then a divorce is a detachment, isn't it? A divorce is not a detachment.
I don't get the whole needing to be ruled and thing. You know, freedom is great. We don't need somebody to tell us what to do all the goddamn time. We're all grown-ass people and we've all been through a lot of bullshit. Let us do what we want to do.
Detachment means that you have disentangled yourself from the process that you call as body, from the process that you call as mind, because both these things are an accumulation from outside. This body you gathered. How did you gather this? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snack. How did you accumulate the mind? All the impressions.
Ooh. Imagine the damage identifying with your ego. Woo.
So because of these campaigns, you get so identified and everything gets distorted.
We can run a campaign to make you believe just about anything. I want you to know this. If we campaign hard enough, we can make you worship anything, we can make you hate anything, we can make you love anything, we can make you give up your life for anything. It is just that we have to work on your identification. How strong is your identity? That is how much you go, isn't it? Once your intellect is identified, mind is no more a harmonious circus, it's a mess of a circus. The whole system of yoga, the technology of yoga is only towards this. Right now, what we are offering as inner engineering is fundamentally just this. It's not a teaching, it is not a philosophy, it is not an ideology or a belief system or a religion. It is just a technology to create a distinction. If you go into these processes, what they're doing to you is just this. If you sit here, your physical body is here. What you call as your mind is out here. What is you is away from this. Once this little space between you and the activity of the mind, between you and the activity of the body arises within you, now mind is no more a mess. It is a great symphony, it is a tremendous possibility, it can take you to great heights. If this distinction is not there, it is this distinction which unfortunately got misinterpreted as non-attachment or detachment. Yes, you must detach yourself from your body experientially, not detaching yourself from family or people or whatever else from life around you. That's very easy. When they become inconvenient, you can detach yourself. Then a divorce is a detachment, isn't it? A divorce is not a detachment. Detachment means that you have disentangled yourself from the process that you call as body, from the process that you call as mind, because both these things are an accumulation from outside. This body you gathered… How did you gather this? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner and snack. How did you accumulate the mind? All the impressions that you received through the five sense organs became the mind. So these two accumulations, if you have to gather so much accumulation, naturally there must be something more fundamental than that within you, or what you call as yourself, should be something little more than the accumulation that you gathered. So once this distinction arises within you, once you liberate your mind from being identified with anything, then mind is a miracle. Mind is a spectacular circus, not a mess.
All right, so let's wait. What did I get from this? You need to unlearn and relearn everything you've learned to this point in time. Please don't put yourself in any box and attach yourself to anything like that. I'm looking at you political people. You don't have to go so hard on the right or the left. Come on, guys. There's no need for extreme politics or attaching yourself to anything. Just keep people guessing like me. You never know what I'm gonna like from one day to the next, and I do that on purpose. Gotta keep people guessing. But if you made it this far, I love you, appreciate your support. If you are newer and this resonated with you, please drop a comment. Let me know that you enjoyed it, where you're from, and I hope you subscribe, stick around, and become a knowledge nomad. And remember, if you do, be sure and hit the notification bell so you can stay in the loop and never miss a drop. Alright, I love you guys. Thank you again. Go love somebody that you don't like so you can love yourself properly and detach all those attachments, okay? Unlearn and relearn. I love you guys. See you next time.